Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do a quick journal restock. Now I will try and go as quick as I can in these because obviously there's a lot to show, and you know, I think they probably get a bit boring for people you know, seeing everything. So I'm gonna just get straight into it, to be honest. So yeah, loads of different things put in my shop. I've again tried to be guided by messages that I've received with what people would like to see. So I've got another couple of kits in there. I've got a couple of small ones and I've got a large one. So this is one of the small kits. It's in this kind of like just paper pouch that I've just stitched together. And you just get, obviously, you know, this could all be dismantled and used in your journals. And you just get these little pockets here. I mean, obviously they're not enough to fill in a whole journal, but they're certainly enough to kind of get you started and, you know, kind of, yeah, make a good start along your way. Really nicely coordinated and, yeah, using a variety of little different papers. They've got sari silk, lace, bling, all of that kind of stuff on them. So super pretty little pockets pack there. So, yep, that's that one. And then, oh, and you've also got like a little bow that's held on with a bulb pin. So that's the first one. Then I've got another small kit, which is in a paper pouch here, folding over. And you've got, again, different bits that can be deconstructed off there. You've got a little double pocket there. You've got a little pocket here. Another little pocket there. Little kind of like faux envelope. Oops, piece there, another little pocket here, one there. Oh, that's it, sorry, yep. So that's your 6 pockets there. So again, like I say, not enough obviously for a whole journal, but definitely enough to really get you started on your way and hopefully kind of like inspire you for the rest of the journal. I've tried to like coordinate them in what I think would go nicely together in a journal, but of course they don't all have to be in the same journal. I've then got a large kit. So this one's much bigger. This I would say is enough to fill a whole journal. Obviously it depends how big you make your journals. If you made a huge one, then you wouldn't have enough. But you just don't have enough to fill the pockets, if you see what I mean. So you've got the pockets themselves, but not enough to go inside. So you've got a variety of different images on the front. You've got sari silk, rose. You've got like a couple of things bulb pinned on, one of my button embellishments and a bow. And then on the back, you've got more things there. And again, I always say, you know, this can all be deconstructed so that you could just pull bits off to use in your journals. You could, you know, yeah, pull the bits and pieces all off. Sorry if you can hear the banging around. My daughter's obviously home. It's the school holidays. So let's go through these bits that you get here. So a little pocket there, which again, obviously you could just glue that down onto a page. Right, oops, one of my pockets there from my Perfect Pocket Pack. So again, glue that down onto a page. You've got this one here, which is a, you know, slanty type pocket, and you've got a pocket at the top. So, yep, super nice. This one here, again, a little pocket at the top, a pocket here, oops, and also a pocket here. I did do a tutorial on these. I can't remember whether I was supposed to have glued that side. Maybe I was. No, maybe I was supposed to staple that. Honestly, it's hard to remember what you do, isn't it? Yeah, I must have been meant to staple that and obviously forgot. So let me just quickly staple that down. Okie dokie. There we go. Yeah, I did do a tutorial on these, but it was quite some time ago. But yeah, really love those pockets. Then we've got this pocket here. Again, it's got a little foldy flap. You've got a pocket there. You've got a pocket there. The foldy flap with some journaling space. And how I kind of proposed that you would have this is, you know, pop something in that holds that flap closed. So, I mean, I'll leave this in here, obviously, and send this off like this. Obviously, the back, you know, does need kind of covering, but yeah, just popped that in there. You've got another slanty pocket here, all stitched around the edge. You've got a little pocket here, again, pocket there. You've got one of those from the Edith Holden book, which we did the pocket book if you saw my, you know, quite recent video, and a little cluster there with my symphony orchestra pieces. Absolutely love that. Here we've got another pocket here, again, sari silk and various bits and bobs there. Then here we've got, what is this? Little pocket piece here. So you've got pocket there, and then you've also got a pocket here and a pocket on there. So depending on how you use this, if you wanted to have it as like a paper clipped in or a tucked in piece, or if you wanted to glue it in, obviously you'd just lose the use of that pocket, but you know, that would be fine too. Absolutely love how that one looks. It's so classy looking, isn't it? So this is my, from the vault, I think it's set 2, and this is my Capital Collection ephemera pieces, but doesn't that look really sort of lovely together? Then you've got this one here. Again, you've got a pocket in each side there. You've got journaling space in the middle and some bits and bobs on the front. Then here you've got one of those little booklet type pieces, and this is the laminated lace. So love how that looks. Then you've got a little banner piece there. One of my side embellishment pieces. You've got here a little, oops, pocket piece here. Some sari silk. Then here you've got a Matchbox book. Again, another one of those side embellishment pieces there. Another one of those Edith Holden pockets. Absolutely love those. Again, another sort of cluster there from the, that's actually from the framed music pieces. Then you've got this little wraparound piece there. And again, obviously journaling space inside. So that just goes like that. And then here you've got another little fold out piece, and there's a little pocket on there as well. Journaling space here, absolutely gorgeous, and a little sari silk bow. So yeah, really super nice, what do you call it, kit there. So, and it's huge. There's loads of pieces in here. So yeah, lots of fun playing with that. And obviously I tried to coordinate them again, just in things that I think they would go nicely into, you know, the same journal. Like I said before, I mean, you don't have to use them in the same journal. Obviously, if you wanted to kind of split them up and put them in different journals, then, you know, you could do that. But I think they kind of would go nicely in the same one. Okay, right. So moving on, we've got a couple of small journals here. Now, I've got a tutorial coming up for these, but I thought I would just kind of pop these into my shop now. So this one held with this was an old skirt of my daughter's. Got fabric on the front. This is some vintage curtains. You've got lace, lots of lace on here. Flowers. One of the pieces from my patchwork pieces there, and some sari silk, various bits and bobs. And then inside you've just got a little pocket here. I'm not going to open everything because I struggle to put it down, but that's that tissue-y type paper that goes over photos, vintage piece. Some vintage sheet music, and then you've got a mixture of my vintage florals set 3. They've been coffee dyed. You've got a little tuck spot there, various pieces of paper, vintage and not. You've got some vintage pieces there. They're just paper clipped in with a rusty paper clip. And then you've got a little tuck spot here, some lace, some sari silk, more pages there, a little kind of like flippy type arrangement there. And then you've got some vintage documents in the middle, another piece from my patchwork pieces there. More of the vintage florals, some lace, various different bits and bobs, another little like flippy pad there. And then sari silk, more lace, and some more of my vintage florals set 3, sheet music, and a little tuck spot and the vintage piece there, some lace on the back. So, I mean, it's only small, it's a tall little journal, but it's very cute, and it's got a lot of journaling space. I mean, that would actually, like, you know, be quite a comprehensive journal, I think. You know, you've got a lot of journaling space in there. So, yeah, really, really love these. Feels nice and squishy. Absolutely yummy, yummy. Then I've got a similar one that I kind of made in the same sort of design. Again, it's just held with that from my daughter's old skirt. And then the cover, so this is a denim cover, but weirdly, how vintage does that look? So even though I've used denim, which by rights shouldn't really look vintage, it does look vintage, doesn't it? So you've got lace down the spine, loads of lace here. This is one of my trade ad pieces. I can't remember now what they're called, but they're in my Etsy shop. Absolutely love how that looks. We've got some fabric there, ruffled, bow, more lace, loads of bits and bobs. Looks really, really gorgeous. I love the colour combinations of like the browns and the blues. And then when you open it up, I've lined the inside, so it's got some card there, and then I lined the inside with some vintage documents. Pop one of my pieces from my core collection. This is another one of those tissue pieces. Then you've got loads of pages. You've got a stiffer sort of page here with some lace and a bow. A little flippy pad there. Loads of pages. And again, you've got lace, loads of pages. And then you've got a little bit there. You've got a, what do you call this? Wax seal paper clip. And that's just holding on another couple of vintage pieces. And then here you've just got a little tuck spast again, another couple of vintage pieces in there. Little foldy piece there, and then a little flippy type arrangement on the back with some sari silk. Absolutely love this, I have to say. It's absolutely yummy. And like with the other one, although it is quite a small journal, it's got tons and tons of journaling space. So yeah, definitely you could journal loads of stuff in here. So really kind of like comprehensive-y type journal. Right, next I've got a little, just a vellum, kind of very simple wraparound journal, this one. So it's just got literally different pages, some deli paper, some vintage page and things, and then some vintage piece here, just paper clipped with a rusted paper clip, some lace. You know, it's a very simplistic journal. Again, it's a writing journal. You've got some gorgeous little bits on the front, really pretty. This is my vintage florals, I think set 1. Printed onto vellum, looks absolutely stunning. What a gorgeous cover. And then you've got a wraparound, you've got some flowers here, and the wraparound closure. Again, absolutely gorgeous little journal. Really pretty. Feels really squishy. Lovely sound because of the vellum. Absolutely love it. So next I've got this journal. Now again, I have done a tutorial on this, but it's not up yet. So yeah, I've been doing loads of experimental kind of journals lately. So lots of tutorials to come, but this is the first one that I've done in this kind of design. So this is just using up some old paper pads. So basically you've got a wraparound closure there. You've got some sari silk, a little sari silk bow, and then a wraparound with the sari silk. Now the whole journal is just held with some sari silk on the side, and then you've got some bits here. This is from my patchwork pieces. Again, you've got a flower, some you know, lace and things like that. And then opening it up, you've got a little double page pocket here, like that. You've got some sari silk down the edge, so you've got some vintage document in here. Obviously, I'm not really going through everything, really, you know, opening everything out, because I want to just get through everything reasonably quickly. And then a journal card. In this side, this is my decorative edge strips, set 3. You've got one of my butterflies, some lace, and then a vintage piece there tucked in on the side. So, and they're genuine vintage pieces. And then here you've got another piece. So mainly the decorative pieces here that are stuck in are mainly from my decorative edge strips set 3. So rather than constantly keep on saying that, I'll just say most of these bits are from the vintage edge strips set 3, decorative edge strips set 3. Here you've just got a journal card. It's just been coffee dyed. Again, it's just a printed piece there. Oops, I think that's from my vintage desk. Not sure which set, but yeah, one of my vintage desk sets. Again, another genuine vintage piece there, just tucks in like that. And then here you've got some lace going down the side, some of my itty bitty bits, another one of those edge strips set 3. And then here you've got just a little tuck out. This is where I find it won't open. Oh good, it has. And then you've just got some journaling space inside, so that just tucks in like that. Okay, and then you've got some lace and some a bow. This is the vintage neck curtain from my nan. Still using it, yep. And then I've got some corner tucks up here, and then here I've just made a little pocket with, again, that's my decorative edge strip backed with some of the paper pad itself. That's some genuine vintage piece there, and some sari silk. Here you've just got a piece from the paper pad. That's one of my journal cards there. Piece from the itty bitty bits again. Another piece from the decorative edge strips, and again another vintage piece tucked in. Oops, tucked up there. Okay. Then you've got here another decorative edge strip. Oops. Now I think this is another one of those tissue type pieces, so I'm not going to unfold it because just like wasting lots of time by doing that. So yeah, that just tucks in there. Just be careful because it's kind of delicate. A little butterfly there, which actually I had meant to put a gem in, so I'm just going to quickly pop a gem in there now. Okie dokie. Yeah, pop the gem in, and then we've got more of that vintage neck curtain. We've got sari silk, a little tuck spot here, and another one of those vintage images there. Here we've got just a little photograph. Now this is just from a book image, and I've backed it onto the card to make it look like a vintage photo. Little corner tuck spot from the edge strips. This is an edge strip that I've just made a pocket. Again, some genuine vintage ephemera tucked into there. Got a butterfly with a gem and some sari silk. Here you've just got a little tuck spot in the side, and again a journal card in there. You've got a flower with a gem, some lace, and then up here you've got a banner piece with again a genuine vintage piece there. So you've got again lots of genuine vintage stuff in here, you know, which is really nice because it's all unique. Then, you know, you're not going to get kind of the same things twice, if you see what I mean. You know, they are genuine vintage pieces. So that, and then here I've just got a little journal card tucked in, so you've got kind of like two pockets there. More of my Nan's neck curtains up there. Absolutely love that page, by the way. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks so pretty, doesn't it? And then here again, I love this page. This was my decorative edge strip set 3. Isn't that gorgeous? You've got obviously the backing paper here. You know, that's the whole decorative edge strip. That's how it looks. Absolutely gorgeous. We've got the sari silk there. Again, more vintage paperwork. That just tucks in there. And then here we've got just a little tuck spot. And then we've got some lace and a coffee dyed bow here. And then here I've just got a little foldy flip. So you've got some coffee dyed paper on there to journal on. You've got some lace trim and then a little piece here that's just a, you know, little flip. Here you've just got a pocket and again another piece from the decorative edge strips. A journal card tucked in the top. And then some of my Nan's neck curtain down the bottom. And then obviously, like I say, it's just got a wraparound closure there. It's a really gorgeous journal because it's quite compact, but in the same way, it's quite chunky. I know that sounds like a contradiction in terms, but yeah, it's really, really, really gorgeous. So loads and loads of journaling space, lots of yummy interactive type stuff. And yeah, just really kind of solidly, yeah, lovely feel to it. Really feels really, really nice. Okay, so next, now I've got to go in a second to take my daughter to the dentist. So I'm just kind of keeping my eye on the time a little bit because I don't want to run out of time. So next I've got this tall folio. Now again, it's wrapped with that from my daughter's skirt. So this is a tall folio. Again, I have got a tutorial coming up for this. But this was one of my holiday type projects that I made last year when I went on holiday, and I've only just finished it off recently. So absolutely gorgeous. Lots of journaling space in here for such a, you know, compact folio. So you've got a foldy flip here. So you've got journaling space there, fold down. You've got a pocket in here, nothing in there. Pocket in here. Again, that's some genuine vintage piece there. It's dated 1925 and it's just an invoice there. That tucks in there. You've got some sari silk on the side looking gorgeous, and then you've got one of my label pieces here. You've got a piece from my Perfect Pockets pack, and you've got a flower. Then opening it up, you've got sari silk here, you've got a large pocket here, a label and things. You've got some genuine vintage ephemera, so again a lot of genuine vintage stuff in here. So again, all very unique. You couldn't then, you know, rebuy it or anything. So yeah, really kind of lovely, you know, one-off kind of items. So that's there. And then here, what I've done, I've stapled in some pages. So although it's a folio, you've got like a sort of journal-y type section. So that's your journal pages in there. So really useful, functional kind of, you know, folio there. And then you've got a fold-out flip here. You've got a couple of bits tucked into the top, like that. Oops. Like that. And this again, this is from my vintage florals set 3, I think. No, set 2, sorry. Then you've got some lace down here. You've got journal space on the side. And then here you've just got a little pocket. Again, some more genuine vintage ephemera. It's in that fold, which I struggled to fold back up, so I'm not going to unfold it. But yeah, that goes in there. Like that. And then going over, you've got, again, a pocket here. Some more genuine vintage document there. That just tucks into that top part. And then here, you've just got a very small tuck spot where, again, you've got some sari silk down the bottom. I tucked in one of those vintagey type photograph type pieces and one of my my music frame pieces there. So they both tuck into that tuck spot. Here you've got another foldy flap with another little flippy, what do I call it? Flippy pad. Yep, that's the word, flippy pad. Like that. Here you've got a little belly band. So again, you could tuck something in there. Got some bling up here and some lace, and then this way you've got, again, another little tuck spot, some lace, another genuine bit of ephemera, and then some vintage photographs. So this is like sort of a ledger type piece in here. So yeah, really super yummy, nice vintage pieces there. That just tucks into the tuck spot there. Then here we've got, again, another genuine piece of ephemera. You've got a journal card that tucks in here, but behind there you've got another little piece as a belly band at the top there. Again, another, I think, genuine piece of ephemera. Oh no, just some coffee dyed paper, but opens all out. So that just tucks in like that. And then you've got lace at the top with some bling. Here you've got another little pocket which you could tuck something in. Yep, I haven't put anything in there, and now I've got nothing I can put in there. Well, that's such a shame. I can't see anything that I can tuck in there, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. So you've got another pocket here, but you've got journaling space there. Open that, you've got journaling space underneath. You've got here another little flip down with another journal card there. You've got lace here and some bling. That one opens up like that, and then you've got another tuck spot there. And again, just a piece from a vintage book tucked in there, sort of like a little photograph. So that all tucks down like that. Oops. And then here you've got a genuine piece of ephemera tucked in there. You've got a genuine piece of ephemera tucked in this pocket. You've got some lace, some bling, a bow, sari silk. So teeny little piece here, just some vintage ephemera that goes in there. Then here you've got a fold out flippy like that. And then this also tucks out. Now this one, it's a little bit fiddly to get to, but yeah, it does kind of tuck out. So that's kind of tucked into here. It's quite tight, but it does go in. So that goes in there. This goes over the top of there. Then you've got your flippy down piece goes up there. And in fact, I could put that like that, holding it all down. So it's such a yummy folio. Again, it feels gorgeous. You've got lace down the spine. Really, really lovely piece. Again, you know, totally kind of unique. And yeah, I've never seen one like this. And I don't think I've ever made one quite like this. So yeah, I must make some more of these because it was lovely to make. Really great fun to make. And yeah, really super nice little folio. So like I say, I do have a tutorial on this, so it will be coming up soon, but absolutely gorgeous. So that's that. Now I'm going to take my daughter to the dentist, and then I'm going to come back and do the other things. But yeah, I will be back. Oh, sorry about that. So back from the dentist now. So yep, I've also got some of my paper pads in stock. These are all different. They're on a potluck basis. There are, yeah, a variety of different papers in each. Now, they should be single-sided, but I can't guarantee it. You might get one or two which have, like, something on the back where I've mistakenly put it in. But what you'll get is 25 sheets. They're on the very nice quality presentation paper, 120 GSM. And what I've done is tried to coordinate them so you'd get a few different kind of combinations, if you see what I mean. So you could mix and match. Like this one, you could go down just a purely blue level, you know, angle. You could go down like a blue and browns. You could go down like a blue and pinks. You could go down like a blue and reds. So all of them, although they're all different, they've all got kind of like a combination of different looks, if that makes sense, that you could kind of like go to and get from them. So, but just to say, really, like if you bought more than one, you're going to get different papers. You may get the odd paper that's the same, but you know, on the whole, they're going to be different pads. No two are the same. So yeah, I've got a few of those. The scrap paper bundles, I'm going to make some more tonight, so there will be some in there. I will update the listing to show that there are some, but yeah, I'm going to have to put those together tonight. I've also got a journal, and I've got a folio with a small journal, and I've also got some more of my little, what do you call these? Butterfly snippets, do we call these? So yep, a few more of these. Again, I mean, these are going to be like on a potluck basis, really. But yeah, what you get is it's 1/2 meter, I think it is, so approximately 50 centimeters of a snippet. And they're going to have the butterflies and flowers and things, and these are really fun. You can kind of like chop them down and use them as like a partial piece on a cover, things like that. You could pop them onto a pocket. I mean, you could use them in their entirety. Personally, I haven't. When I've used these, I've tended to just cut down little chunks of them, but yeah, they're really super pretty. So that's those quickly. I've also got some more fabric covers in my shop, so yep, just a couple of the fabric covers. So these are like sort of patchworky type fabric covers, and then on the back you're going to have the stitching. So I personally, if I use these, I then collage over this with paper, so it's got a collage back with paper, and then they're just obviously, you know, fold in half. So yep, I've got a couple of those also in there. Right, okay, I'm going to do a very quick flick through of the journal. So this is, I don't know really what to describe this as. There is probably a correct term for this. I'm not sure what it is. You know, like where it's a loose cover journal. So it's got the elasticated elastic, you know, the elastic anyway. So the cover is removed, or the journal is removable to the cover. So it just literally slips in here underneath the elastic. It's bound obviously as a journal, but that journal then slips into the cover. So the cover itself, it's all this absolutely beautiful corduroy in this really gorgeous colour burgundy. On the back you've just got a couple of bits of detail of lace and things like that, and then on the front is so pretty. You've got like some lace down here, you've got like a big flower, you've got some ruffled trim flower here, loads of different laces and things, and then a bow there, and then you've got this gorgeous piece from my, oh my goodness, what are these called? My fashion plate printables. So yeah, super nice, pretty cover. And then going in, we've got, oh sorry, it was, yeah, it's going, what did I just untie? Yeah, bound with lace. So going in, on the inside of the front cover, you've got a collage inside. Absolutely like yummy, yummy, yummy. This is my kind of colours, to be honest, on this cover. So all collaged here. You've got lace to sort of reinforce the spine. You've got sari silk down the side. You've got some lace down there, a bow. Got one of my flowers shoe printables that's done like a cluster. And then this is just a tuck spot here. And that's on top of the pocket, if you see what I mean. So you've got a tuck spot. So you've got a single side laminated piece tucked in there. And then here you've just got one of those little, I don't know what you call these. Anyway, a little doobry there with some mix of papers there, sort of stapled onto the front. And then some lace trim and things. Wax, seal, paper clip. And that just all tucks into the pocket itself. So like that. Okie dokie. And then on the facing page, you've got a corner pocket here with the some paper from my roses collection. You've got an image there from my Valentine's pieces, I think from the vault pieces. You've got some more sari silk ruffled, and then you've got a genuine vintage postcard there. I don't know whether it's got a date. It probably has, but I can't actually see. Yeah, I can't see the date, I'm afraid. So that's that, tucks in like this. Don't you just absolutely love this, with the gorgeous ribbon there tying in perfectly with the sari silk colour. Then going over the page, oh my goodness, I mean, this is so my types of colours, this journal. So you've got a pocket here, and then inside there, you've got a journal card. You've got a little sort of doobly there. You've got some sari silk down the side. So this tucks in here like that. And then you've got a little scrappy booklet that just tucks in there. And then here you've got a tuck spot, and you've got one of those, you know, self-tucking envelopes. I'm not going to untuck it, but yeah, self-tucking envelope. That just tucks in there. And then here you've just got this stitched pocket where I've popped in this genuine, you know, vintage postcardy type thing. So that just tucks in here like that. You've got some lace and a couple of little roses, and then some collaging going on the page. And then going over the page, this is one of the pockets from my pocket book that we've made together, and tucked in here, all sorts tucked in here. You've got some lace trim at the top and a bow there, sorry, silk bow. And then you've got a flippy down with my sewing pattern papers. That goes in first. Well, probably doesn't go in first, but anyway, it goes in. And then you've got some genuine vintage ephemera just forming a little fold out, and you've got a couple of things stapled on there with some genuine vintage stuff as well. That just staples on, tucks in there like that. And then here you've just got a printable journal card that just then tucks in like that. Like that. There we go. And then here you've got just some coffee dyed paper, so plain for journaling. You've got a gorgeous piece here, some lace trim there, and some bling. Plain for journaling there. Here you've got some sari silk running down the side. You've got here some genuine vintage ephemera. That's just tucked in here. You've got a wax seal pocket, which again, I have done a tutorial for these particular pockets, but it's quite a while ago. And then you've got tucked in the side one of those little vintage, you know, photograph type pieces. That just tucks in there. Then going over the page, you've got like a flippy pad type piece there. You've got some lace down the side, some lace at the top. And then here you've got a belly band from that same pocket book. Absolutely love this. I don't know why, but for some reason this is just, oh, gorgeous. I kind of wanted to hoard it, but yeah, I've put it in here. Bit of ruffle down the bottom, and then just a couple of bits on there. Some genuine vintage ephemera here, dated 1921, 31. Can't really see that, but anyway, that just tucks in there like that. And then here we've got a pocket here with my decorative edge strips, set 2 or 1, I'm not sure. And I've printed them onto the craft coloured card, put some sari silk ruffled down the side, genuine vintage ephemera in there. So there's a lot of genuine vintage ephemera in here again. So that's a vintage invoice. And then here, some vintage sheet music. So you've got like the cover one side and then the sheet music itself. So that just tucks in like that. And then here you've got another sheet of that craft coloured card, and that's just tucked in there. That's just kind of put on like a pocket on the side, ripped at the edge, which I really like. And then you've got some lace at the top with a little piece there, and some bling at the top. And then here you've got, again, more genuine vintage ephemera. So yeah, loads of vintage ephemera in here. Don't know, 1892 I think that is. So super old, love it where it's got the postage stamp in there. So yeah, really nice. Always love it when you have like a postage stamp on the ephemera. Going over, you've got another pocket from my pocket book printables. It's a bit of a mouthful there. Pocket book printables, and that just literally is on here. You've got a flippy down like that, which is also not only journaling space here, but you've got a wax seal. And then you've got a pocket in here. Don't you love that pocket? Oh my goodness, how yummy does that look? Really nice, isn't it? And then you've got a vintage playing card there from Harrods, and that just goes in there. And then you've got some lace at the top. Here you've got some genuine vintage ephemera, again, dated 1913. It just tucks in there. You've got just a butterfly, but plain for journaling, plain for journaling. Then here you've just got a flippy down. Again, it's plain on the other side, so you could journal on there. Really super nice. Plain here for journaling. some fabric ruffle and some bling. And then here you've got just a little pocket. Again, another one of those little vintage kind of photograph type pieces. That just goes in there like that. And this is got some lace down the bottom, lace here with some bling, and a piece here. This has got some sari silk down the side. You've got a butterfly there with some bling. You've got some genuine vintage ephemera. I love this piece. It's so nice, isn't it? So you've got this kind of receipt-y type thing stuck on it. I can't, oh, 1950. So it's actually not that old, but it feels really old. But I love it because it's actually got this kind of like self-wrapping closure. Now I have to say, when it came to me, it was like this. So it's quite sort of, yeah, tatty, I suppose, would be the description. And I'm not sure actually how you have to fold it to get it to tuck in. This is how it was folded when I got it. So yeah, they hadn't obviously taken advantage of the self-tucking fold. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I love the fact it's got it, even if I'm not using it, or if nobody's used it. So that's that. And then you've got just a little flippy arrangement there with, again, some genuine vintage ephemera. And that just tucks in like that. And then going over the page. So in the middle, you've got some plain coffee dyed paper, because that's like the reverse side of here. And then I've got these pockets here, which I absolutely love. So this is a mixture of like my documents set 3 with just some of the vintage florals set 3 on it. Some bits there from my core collection papers, and then one of my bird frames there. Sari silk down the side, and here some, what do you call this? Embroidery on glaze type trim. A ribbon, and then you've got, sorry, a bow, and then some ribbon there. It just looks such a gorgeous colour combination, doesn't it? All those colours look great. Then you've got another one of those photographs. These are actually like torn from a book, so it's a vintage book, but that's why they're papery. So yeah, they are the originals, but they are not on thick kind of paper. You've got some vintage ephemera here, just a sort of, you know, policy document. That just tucks into the side there. And then going over the page, look at this cute pocket down there. So that's just another piece from my, from the Vault Valentine's collection. And then it's on a collage masterboard pocket with some fabric ruffle that's been stitched down the side. And then tucked in here, again, some sheet music like that. You've got a frame up the top. Really nice. And then here you've got just a little piece there, and then here you've got another one of those photograph pieces there, and then, you know, various different bits layered up. You've got some fabric ruffle down there, plain for journaling, and then here you've got some fabric ruffle with a bit of bling, and then you've got this pocket here with a fold out flap that's held in by the journal card in the front, if you see what I mean. So yeah, super nice. And this is another one of those trade card printables, which I absolutely love those. This is just a little journal card which I collared up and made. Looks really pretty in there, color wise, goes really nicely. This isn't genuine vintage, but it feels genuine vintage ephemera. So yeah, that's just a coffee dyed piece that just tucks in there. You've got lace and fabric ruffle. You've got here some more of that decorative edge strip again on the craft coloured card. Lace with some bling and a bow. And then here, this one of my large images there, I think that's probably a pocket as well, so you could put something in there as well. And then again, some more sheet music there. And also as a little bonus piece that I hadn't realised was in there, you've got some book page there with like sort of ads on there. So yeah, that's really nice. And then here you've got, this is one of my playing cards collage masterboard pieces, which, wow, this was quite a long time ago that I think I did these, but I've just topped it off with one of those trade card framed pieces. And then some sari silk down the side. Love how it looks. Just popped it on like a pocket. And again, another one of those little printable pieces there. Not printable, sorry, photograph pieces. A fabric tip in here, and it's got like a little buckle at the top with a bow and, you know, all of that stuff. A little pocket here, some sari silk, and then tucked in here you've got, again, it's vintage ephemera, which is just like tucked round to make a little trifold type piece. That just tucks in there. Then here you've got, oops, a tuck spot. Oh, remember how it was, tuck spots. So genuine vintage ephemera here. Don't you love the font and stuff? And this paper feels so awesome. It's really sort of soft and thin. Really love it. So that just tucks in there. Then here you've got another little one of those photographs tucks in there. Then here you've got, again, some more vintage ephemera, which is a picture from a vintage book, but it's all plain on the backs for journaling. So, yep, that just tucks in like that. And then here you've got plain for journaling, and again you just got a little bit of lace there with a piece from my core collection papers. Then here you've just got a little bannery tuck spot, again some vintage ephemera up there, and then here another one of those pieces from my original pocket book, and again another journal card tucked in there like that. And then here, oops, here you've just got, again, a nice piece from a vintage book. That just tucks in like that. Again, don't you just love this pocket? I really, really love it. It's really nice. So this was like vintage postal stamps, and then some, what do you call it? Embossed stamping all over this page, and it had been painted in the first place. So yeah, what a lovely scrumptious page that is. And then you've got lace top and bottom, so I just really like that. And then going over the page, you've just got a label and a butterfly, plain there, just kind of decorative page, got some of that embroidery anglaise type trim on the side with some bling. And then on this page you've just got literally a little piece from my Build the Butterfly clusters there, just as a belly band for this piece, a little piece of decorative trim there, and then here you've got a little corner tuck spot there. And that's got, oh, two. I'll take one of these out if that's all right. Just because, yeah, otherwise it's bulking it out, and I'm just being stingy and wanting to hold them. But yeah, 1915. So yeah, that just tucks in like that. And then this has got some fabric ruffle down there, and then a journal card goes in here. Don't you love the look of this page, by the way? And then this is again from the Vault, you know, Valentine's or Love collection, and so's this one. But they look really pretty on the page, don't they? I love the colours. More of that vintage sheet music. So again, great for collage and all of that kind of stuff. One of my itty bitty bits here as well goes really nicely. Flowers and a flower there and a label. And then here you've got some lace running down the edge, some fabric ruffles, some, you know, a flower there, a bow. And then you've got another one of those vintage photograph type pieces. And then here, again, it's another image from a book. I'm not going to undo it because I'm not great at folding those back up. But that's, yeah, so that's that journal. So it's quite a monster, to be honest. It's, you know, it's pretty huge. But I love the fact it's just a, you know, tuck in one, like into the elastic. It's, you know, it makes it really kind of versatile like that. So yeah, super scrumptious. Love the colours of this, but look at how huge and chunky that is at the side. So super scrumptious. Right, then I've got this. So this is a folio with a small writing journal. It's again held with that lovely, you know, netting from my daughter's skirt. So you've got the writing journal. Now the writing journal, it's just a very basic writing journal. So it's not got pockets or anything like that. It literally is for, you know, for your journaling. Love the cover. So this pink page, this is one of the pages from the Great Expectations kit. And then on the front, you've got a piece from my Perfect Pockets, just with some of that, you know, my Nan's Neck curtain that had been food coloured, a flower. And then here you've got lace, sari silk and a bow. And then when you open it up, it's backed with my, you know, Rich Damask, I think set 2. And then literally, like I say, it's just a writing journal. So all you've got is pages for writing. So you've got a mixture of vintage ephemera. I think if I have included the vintage ephemera, I think on the whole it is single-sided. As I say, I come across one that's not. But on the whole, it's single-sided. So you have got a lot of journaling space in here. But you might have the odd page with, you know, original kind of text and things like that on. But yeah, it just makes it really nice and interesting to look through. And yeah, you've got this nice variety of pages, you know, some vintage, some coffee dyed, you know, some deli papers and things like that. Love making these kinds of style journals, to be honest. I don't know why, but when I make them to go with folios, I really like these where they sort of hang out, you know, like either end of the cover. So, you know, that way you can really kind of like keep any long documents and things like kind of overhanging, which I just think is really, really nice. So yeah, really like that. Okay, so this folio, I have to say this is quite a huge folio. So I've been using, or in this, I used my bees papers. I think I mixed up the colours, to be honest, because the bees papers, the bees collection papers, there's 2 different colourways, but I think I did kind of mix them in. So what have we got? We've got, the cover is fabric. So if I open it up and show you, basically that's it for the cover, because after that it goes into the journal, if you see what I mean, but into the folio. But it's a huge folio, so you've got lots of different kind of bits, which we'll look at in a minute. So the cover itself has been covered with velvet in places. This is still the paper underneath, but here we've got some velvet, here we've got some lace, we've got some of my Nan's neck curtain and things for some other lace, you know, loads and loads of bits on here. The cover itself, you've got here a piece from my core collection papers, here a piece from the bees ephemera pieces, which I actually can't remember. The bees ephemera may be a freebie on my website, and I really apologise that I actually can't remember that. But yeah, I've got a funny feeling that they are. So we've got loads of different lace on here. So Nan's neck curtains, you know, bits of coffee dyed lace, sari silk, more sari silk here, more of that Nan's neck curtain, and then some sari silk bow here, one of those jabos, and then a flower here with some trim, and then flowers up there as well, lace down here. I mean, what a yummy feast for the eyes that cover is. And then going in, so I'm just going to show you this like in its entirety, because otherwise I'm going to have it folded, because it's not going to fit on the desk in the camera, if you see what I mean. So just to show you, it opens up like this, and like this, and like this. So it's kind of like a not a trifold, but a quadruple fold, and then more stuff, if you see what I mean. So you've got the, you know, multiple folds. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of like show you through layer by layer. So first of all, when you open it up, you've got this section here where you've got a belly band down here, you've got sari silk, got lace at the top, butterfly, all different things layered up. You've got some vintage ephemera in there, dated 1913, and that just tucks in the side. Then here what you've got a foldy flap, which is an envelope. You've got lace, flower, all sorts of different things. And then you've got, tucked in here, if I can get to it, another one of those. This is just a book image, which I've backed onto the card to make it look like a vintage photograph. But it is a vintage book image, so yeah, that's in there like that. Then on the front of here, you've got, again, bees pieces and some frames and things like that. You've got some sari silk, a flower, butterfly, bling, lace, more lace here. So you've got a combination of all different coloured laces. You've got like this gorgeous duck eggy colour, which is that lace that I dyed with the distress inks. You've got some pink lace, you've got coffee dyed lace, all sorts of different gorgeous yummy colours, but it just looks so scrummy, doesn't it? I really, really love the colours in here. So then what you've got here on the facing side is you've got this kind of like foldy piece here. So I'm just going to show you this side first. So we've got lace here kind of like reinforcing the spine. So there's lots of reinforcing going on with the lace. Then you've got a pocket here done with, again, the bees paper. You've got sari silk across the middle of the pocket. You've got a label, lace down here, and some bling. So in the top of the pocket, you've got some vintage ephemera there, dated 1895. That just tucks in like that. Then what you've got is you've got, oh my goodness, some more vintage ephemera tucked in here. This is on that really skinny kind of skinny rustly paper. That's how I'm going to describe that, skinny and rustly. So yep, love that. That just tucks in there. Now I'm going to open it like this first, I think. Right, let me move my stuff out of the way. Yeah, put that there. Right, okay, so then what you've got is when you open it like this, so this is reinforced with the lace. Here you've got a big pocket here, and you've got some vintage ephemera tucked in there. So you've got this, which was a cover of a, like a leaflet type thing. Then you've got a piece here dated 1886. That's tucked inside. And this is one of those vintage reproduction postcards from the Titanic Museum in Belfast, which I aged. And this was quite a long time ago. I did a kind of tutorial on that. So that's that, all tucked in there. And that all just tucks in like that into that huge pocket there. Then what you've got here is you've got an opening flap here with, again, more bees ephemera on the front, lace, bling, flower, more bling. And then tucked in the side, you've got one of those cabinet card printable pieces, which are laminated. I love these. Yeah, they're so nice, aren't they? And yeah, Julia, I still have it on my radar to make some of these. I know that you did request that I make some of these and put them in my shop. It's still on my list of things to do. So yeah, when I get time, I will actually do that. But yeah, love those. Then I've got here, oh my goodness, I've got a pocket there with nothing in it. So you've got another pocket there. Then on here, this is, I think, another pocket. So again, you could put something in there. I'm just thinking I've got some pink paper here. So I'm just going to pop that in just so that it has got something in it. So, my goodness, just trim that up. I mean, obviously this is going to look tatty, but better than having the empty pockets everywhere. So there we go, like that. Okay, you've got lace going down here. Again, that's reinforcing that spine. Lace up here with a bow and another piece of the bees ephemera up there. Then here you've got some more vintage ephemera. This is a kind of, you know, yeah, point scoring type chart thing for teaching. Then here you've got a little foldy flip in the food coloured paper there. So that tucks in there. And then you've got this going in as well, sort of holding it in. This folds over. Then on this side, you've got, again, another pocket here. This is a printable, but it's all been coffee dyed. Feels very vintage. Then you've got a label here. You've got a label there. Not label, sorry, frames there. And a flower. That goes in there. Here you've got coffee dyed paper. So you've got some journaling space. A label this time. And then in the side, it's a big pocket. And you've got some genuine vintage ephemera. Oh my goodness, it's one of those. Oh no, thank goodness it's not. I thought, oh, one of those that I hate unfolding. Right, so this is genuine vintage ephemera. Now this is super old. It's 1847 and it's very, very, very flimsy and delicate. So yeah, I'm not going to overly handle it too much, but isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Super flimsy, super thin paper, but really, really scrumptious. So yeah, that tucks in there. Very, very old, like I say, 1847. So I mean, when you think that's actually coming up to like 200 years old, I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? So then here you've got another pocket. I can't believe I've got like another pocket now with nothing in it. I mean, oh, I hate that when that happens. Oh, right. I'm just gonna put this in there just so it's got something. So a little piece of deli paper we put in there. You've got some lace, a butterfly with some bling. This then folds out. You've got a little label there and one of my book plates. And then here you've got another piece of that bees ephemera, and that's a belly band. Genuine vintage ephemera here in the form of the horrible folding that I hate doing. Don't know why I bother doing it, to be honest, because I find it really awful to fold back up. Right, okay, this is dated 1951. So, yep, that folds in like that and like that. I mean, to be honest, it's not really very complicated, but for some reason I find it quite stressful on a flip through to then tuck it all back in. I don't know why. But yes, that's how it tucks in. So, in fact, not complicated at all, but just on the flip through, I find that really stressy. I love the fact it's got like the original postage stamp and all of that kind of thing on there. So yeah, really, really nice. So that just tucks in like that. That folds over. Then here you've got another pretty big pocket, and you've got this whole vintage like cover of a mortgage. Now this is dated 1930, but I absolutely love this. Isn't this gorgeous? So it's just a kind of like quite plain on the back and things for journaling, but you know, for me, I just absolutely love this. I don't know whether you'd call this the title page or, you know, what we would call this, but yeah, I just really, really like it. So, yeah, that one's in there. It's dated the 30th of August, 1930. Which actually, now I'm looking, that's weird. That says 29. Oh, I don't know, but anyway, really nice. That just tucks in like that. So then I'm going to bring it back. Then it folds over this way as well. So, you know, there is a lot sort of to this. So you've got more lace kind of reinforcing it here. And then what you've got on this side, you've got sari silk down the side. You've got another little pocket here. And you've also got a pocket here. So you've got a pocket here, and this is a pocket as well. So you've got lace here, you've got a butterfly here, and then you've got a flippy pad, just with some food colour paper. That, I think, was tucked into that one. And then you've got like a little foldy pad type thing, just with some vellum and then some pages inside and some coffee dyed doily. That just tucks into there. And then here I've just got, again, some more of that really fragile paper. Dated 1851, this one. So almost as old, but not quite. But yeah, again, that really flimsy paper. So, you know, super careful with that. That tucks in there. In here, you've got some, you know, this might just be vintage fly sheet, to be honest, stuck on here as the journaling space. And then that tucks over. This is the food coloured card. And then you've got a piece there from the Bees Ephemera printables, and that's a pocket. Obviously a butterfly there, some lace and some bling. And then you've got, I'm not going to even attempt to unfold this, but another little vintage letter there, dated 1905. That just tucks in there. Here you've got another piece of the Bees Ephemera, some lace down the side, a bow. And then tucked in here, you've got another one of those little photograph pieces from the vintage book. And then going over the page, this is another one of those Bees Ephemera pieces, a bow, a butterfly, some bling, lace, and then some sari silk down here. And then tucked into here, so this is another pretty big pocket, some more, yeah, vintage ephemera. Again, it's on that really fragile paper. So this is dated 1900. So again, it's super, super old. But isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, I just love all these bits so much. So yeah, I mean, obviously I make these things in advance, and then I forget what I've put in, and it always amazes me when I do the flip through that I'm like, oh, I can't believe I parted with that, you know. I then want to kind of like pull it all back out, but yeah, I must not do that. Right, so on this side, what we've got a huge pocket in here. So tucked into that huge pocket, I've got a like journal card piece, which is just like some book page here, a couple of bits layered up. You could obviously gesso over this or something and journal on it, or, you know, however you wanted. And then it's got a brad with a couple of pieces there tucked into the corner. So, yeah, super nice. And it feels really nice. I love the fact it's huge, and, yeah, really, really nice. So that tucks in there. Then here you've got this vintage photograph of some people doing the tug of war. No date. Well, there might be a date on the photograph, but yeah, I haven't pulled it out, to be honest. But a lot of people scribble on the back of the pictures, don't they, the dates. A pocket here with the bees paper, another piece of Bees Ephemera up there, some sari silk and some lace running down the sides. That just tucks in like that. And then here, another piece of that, you know, vintage photograph from the book. And then here we've got, again, a sort of like double fold out type piece. So here you've got a frame here with one of the bees pieces. You've got a bees wax seal, but these were the wax seals that I did with the glue sticks, and then I've edged it with gold and things. It looks so pretty on here. A butterfly with some bling, a bow and some lace down the side. Love the look of this whole pocket. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Really, really nice. And then tucked in here, again, just some vintage sheet music. Absolutely love this. Really, really lovely. Goes just so nicely colour wise, doesn't it? It sort of picks it up really, really well. that just tucks in there. And then here you've got some journaling space there. And then here, again, how gorgeous does that look? So pretty, isn't it? Some lace, a flower, and some lace down there. And then tucked in here, we've got, again, some more vintage ephemera, 1892. So again, another super old piece there. And that just all tucks in on itself like this. Oops, or folds in, sorry. And then just tucks into the envelope. Like that. That shuts down there. And then here what we've got is a, what do you call this? Acetate, stamped acetate cover. You've got some elastic here just holding in the pages. So you've got your pages there, bit of lace. I just love how that looks. It's so nice, isn't it? So yeah, and again, I made that really a long time ago, hoarded it like forever. Why am I hoarding these things? It's really weird, isn't it? Lace at the top, a butterfly with some bling, another pocket here with, again, a bow and some sari silk ruffle down there. And another one of those really old pieces of ephemera. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I've parted with this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've parted with this. I think that says 1826, but correct me if I'm wrong. It could say 1876. I don't know. I feel like it says 1826, but it's hard to say. But isn't that yummy, yummy, yummy? I mean, if that's 1826, 100%, that's like the oldest thing I think that I've ever had. So yeah, absolutely scrumptious. But yeah, really, really nice. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm parting with all those really, really, really old treasures. But must stop. Right, before I suddenly like edit my video and take them all back out and end up holding on to the whole lot. So yeah, right, so that's the folio with the writing journal, and a lot of like, you know, wanting to hoard bits going on there. Okay, and then I think I've just got one final thing to just quickly show you. So the final thing, oh, I have got a tag bag as well, which is also listed. I'm not going to show you that because I've shown them loads of times before, but this is the final item. So again, I've got a video coming up with this, but this was inspired by Amity Bloom's little tag book journal, which she, I think, called something like the easiest journal ever. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. This is my daughter, even though she's been to the dentist, you know, she now keeps phoning me because she's gone to her friend's house now. So she keeps on phoning me. So I just want to finish the video first. So we've got collage masterboard tags. So I did a collage masterboard and then I collaged it on the back as well. Made the tags and then I've stitched them on the sewing machine and, you know, accordion folded them to make a little journal. I did do a video, like I say, so that will be coming up. Oh, I'm so sorry. That will be coming up. But yeah, obviously, you know, not quite yet. And I am making some more of these because I loved this project so much. Oh my goodness, I wish you'd get the hint. So yeah, loved this project so much. So I will do, you know, some more of these, but I'm just going to quickly show you. So you've got a pocket here with some lace. You've got a little printable journal card there. And then you've got some genuine vintage ephemera. Oh my goodness, would you believe I've done that little tuck again? So I'm not going to show you that, but I think it's a letter. Yeah, it's a letter dated 1899. So super old. That's going in there. This is the front cover of this. Then you've got a tuck spot here. And you've got some genuine vintage ephemera here. Like that. Lots of journaling space because it's kind of mainly plain, and that just goes in like that. You've got loads of bits of you know, kind of like sari silk, bows, bling, you know, flowers, lots of kind of yeah, decorative details on here. So even though it's small, you've got a lot of stuff going on here. So I always think these things, although you think, oh, you know, these are great because they won't take 5 minutes, they end up taking like ages, because by the time you've decorated them, it's like, I might as well have made a full-size bit. But anyway, you know, it was really fun to make. So you've got some lace down here, some bling, flower, a piece from the Perfect Pockets packs. Oh, that was from the core collection papers. And then a little journal card, which is one of the Capital Collection ephemera pieces. A butterfly up there with some bling. And then here you've just got a little belly band. You've got some sari silk down the bottom, and then tucked into there you've just got a little piece again from those vintage photographs that just goes in there, and you've got a bow. I'm so sorry about that. She then phoned on the actual phone, which then just stops the filming, so I might as well have picked her up anyway when she kept messaging me. Right, so then I've got the lace pocket here on the final one with the sari silk down here, lace tab up there with some bling, got some label bits there, and then a piece from my core collection papers and one of my group photograph printables there, and they're all just kind of like distress inked up. So that just tucks in like that, and then this also folds or turns over the other way, so you've got all lovely gorgeous decorative pieces on this side as well. So this one is actually like the back, i.e. the underneath piece. So we've got here a little tuck spot, some lace down there and some bling. That's that lace tab again, and you've got bling at the top. You've got a little label there, vintage ephemera type piece there, and that just tucks in like that. Then you've got a lace pocket on the next one. So you've got there again some vintage ephemera, and then you've got a little you know, printable piece there that's been inked up. The lace pocket then is finished off with some sari silk, a little coffee dyed flower, and then a book plate up there and a bow. So that just tucks in like that. Okie dokie. And then this one, you've got a belly band, you've got a sari silk bow up there, little label and a flower and some bling. And then here you've got, again, that's a piece I think from the vintage, from the Vault set 5, I think. So yeah, really super nice little bit there. And then here you've got another one of those lace pockets. I just love the lace pockets, they're really nice, aren't they? And then here you've got tucked in, so you've got some bling down there and things. You've got a label, and again some more of that lace at the top. So you've got some vintage ephemera here. Then you've just got a little journal card piece, and then, oh my goodness, how cute is that little tag? Oh, I love it. It's so yummy, isn't it? So it's literally just a flower stapled onto a teeny little piece that's shaped like a tag. But oh my gosh, that looks so cute, doesn't it? So yeah, that just then tucks into that pocket, and just, oh, how lovely and yummy does that look? And then here you've got a pocket with a little fold out piece, some sari silk running down the side, a little piece here, and then again tucked in fact, one of those bee ephemera pieces like that. But yeah, isn't it absolutely scrumptious? And I didn't put a tab or anything at the top of this one. And then, like I say, it all folds in on itself like a little accordion fold. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really need a closure because it's all kind of holding flat. It's laying flat and all of that kind of stuff. But I just tied it round with some more of that net because I just thought, you know, it looked pretty, to be honest. So yeah, absolutely scrumptious piece. And to be honest, again, gorgeous to hold, gorgeous to sort of, you know, look through, and tactile, and yeah, just really scrumptious, really, really pretty piece. So yeah, that's kind of everything, I think. Like I say, there is a tag bag as well. And I think there's some paper clips also, and something else which I can't remember what. But yeah, so anyway, if you wanted to check out anything, it's all listed on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. Hope you're all having a fantastic Easter weekend. And yep, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate a big thumbs up for this video. And don't forget, as I always say, if there's anything in particular that you would really love me to do and put into my shop, I mean, I can't guarantee because it might be, you know, beyond my realms of my capabilities. But if it is within my kind of capabilities, I will try my best to kind of accommodate you. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic time, everybody. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.